Hey, what's up, my little tattletales? And what's up, Sussex Squad? Y'all, today we have so much to talk about. William is still running scared because he made a mockery of the royal family. Imagine being a part of a colonialist cosplay family that we laugh at actually pretty daily on this channel, and you doing something to bring more shame to your legacy. Y'all, let's get into this. Also, remember we talked about in the last video. If you didn't see it, go watch it, about Harry and Charles. We're going to do a peace talk because apparently William embarrassed the family so much and they won't do any work. Charles is bringing them to Balmoral to have a talk, but he knows William is so jealous, right? And he was like, and I'm meeting with your brother. Okay. However, when you got into the article, you saw this is pure fights of fiction because it was never happening. The palace was putting that out there. William had a heart attack and conniption because you know he's not too bright. He's about as smart as all the hairs on the top of his head. William literally had a heart attack about it, released a bunch of articles about how he can't stand Harry and all this other mess. Y'all, let's get into this. But one of the reasons they're saying, the palace is saying it's not happening, is because Meghan's never going to be invited. Now, let me just put this out there for the people that actually don't know. Before we get into William and the way he's still being dragged about the football debacle and the games Charles is playing, Harry has said time and time and time again, there will be no reconciliation unless you apologize to my wife. There will be no healing unless you give my wife the respect she deserves. There will be no me sprinkling the only ounce of personality that this family has all over the public unless my wife is included. And what did they do? They released a bunch of fake articles saying that they were going to meet with Harry. Now, I dug into it. I think the reason, in my opinion, they were releasing these fake articles, and they're obviously fake. I'll get into it in a second. And because if you guys don't know, Charles was cleared of all charges for his play for pay scandal. Remember when he was literally operating like his name was Pablo Escobar in Narcos season 1, literally taking millions of pounds in plastic bags. They didn't even put it in suitcases. They were passing it over in hefty bags, probably the ones that were sent it with free breeze, right? Well, they basically had all these confessions on paper, basically saying, yeah, I did it, and here's why. And Scotland Yard has declined to investigate. These are also the same people that didn't want to investigate when Andrew was going through his stuff. So, big surprise. I will say one thing. Again, Charles, you know what? Let's get into the Meghan thing. Anyway, I think Charles was literally trying to distract from that and put something in the news media cycle because the tabloids were like, well, we might talk about this because we need numbers, we need clicks, we need views. And he was like, what if I said I was meeting with Harry? Would that get you clicks and views? Yeah. They put all these headlines. Oh my God, they're to meet. But then when I read the article, I'm like, why would Harry do that? And when I read the article halfway through, because you know I read stuff real time, I was like, you know what? Let's apologize to Harry because Harry didn't even agree to this. This is the palace saying they want to meet. The offer's open. Aides are beginning to prepare for Harry's stay, but no, Meghan's not invited. So let me see. Now, we're supposed to have a meeting. You have not talked to me. I have not talked to you. I have not accepted. You haven't even broached the idea, but you announce it on your Instagram and then say the person who I am mad at you about, that you won't respect my wife, husband, or whatever, is not invited. I mean, does that sound like a meeting to you? Doesn't sound like a meeting to me. Y'all, let's get into this. But you know the pals, because they have to be extra petty and cruel. They get off on letting Meghan know that she will never be allowed anywhere. Which lets me know two things. Either one, you actually did have the nerve to ask Harry, and Harry was like, what about Meghan? And you guys are heading back. Or two, you guys are cruel and you guys are trying to give Meghan the Fergie treatment. But Meghan is no Fergie. And for anybody saying, oh, well, she should take that role, look at the way they still treat Fergie. Fergie wasn't even invited to the coronation. She couldn't even come to the court. Like, it was just a mess. Like, anyway, imagine being so entrenched in a bootlicking society that people openly disrespect and play you, take away your daughter's princess titles, and you still going up giving interviews. I'm talking about Fergie, talking about, well, Meghan really should have stuck it out. Like, I can't imagine being born and she's getting up there in age, dying a bootlicker, but apparently that's Fergie's dream. God bless her. Anyway, right? They said multiple royal experts told Fox News Digital that they don't believe a peace summit is happening between the monarch and the spare. They said the person I spoke to about this, they poured quite a lot of scorn on it, and we're not at a stage yet from either side. Okay, but the palace is the one that released these rumors, and they said AIDS. So what game are they playing? They said it would take nothing short of a miracle for Harry and Charles to come together and repair their relationship. I finally agree with them. The miracle is Charles's heart growing 10 times too big, and him stop bootlicking Camilla's hooves for 10 seconds and like literally putting apples in naughty places for Camilla to find. Woo! Put your hooves on the glass. Anyway, y'all, seriously, at the end of the day, the reconciliation is not happening for a number of reasons. Harry still has more in California with Meghan than he'll ever have being William, Kate, and Charles' scapegoat, like, I don't know, the doormat, whatever. And the thing is, and this is the real gag, he had the same amount that he had before he met Meghan, and they treated him like dirt. The problem was he had no out. He found it out, and now they're mad. You want him to come back. You've taken everything. What else are you going to take his kids' titles? Yeah, I'm sure that means something to Harry, but baby, you live in America. We don't care about that now. Don't worry. Meghan will make it go away. She'll kiss it better. Anyway, right? Now, they said feelings between Prince William and Prince Harry are still running so strong that I think King Charles would think long and hard about going behind William's back and trying to make peace with Harry. I have another question. Okay, I have a lot of questions. William is the Prince of Wales. William is already acting like he is the Prince Regent, meaning the power behind the throne. The fact that Charles is letting William run him so much, and for what? What, William's star power? William doesn't have any star power, and he's lazy. He couldn't even get up and go to the soccer final where everybody was dragging him, and he blamed it on Charles. What does Kate do? Kate runs around shaking hands, which I guess would be good because that's what Camilla does. But Kate also wants to be known for doing things, but everything is smoke and mirrors. Harry and Meghan actually worked. And remember the old article? Oh my God, Harry and Meghan are trying to steal Camilla and Charles's shine. That's all Kate and William do. But I think what the real issue is, Harry will not even pretend to accept Camilla. And Camilla has a bone to pick with Harry. William sold his mother out for $2 and no hair, right? But Harry was more loyal. And Camilla, I think Harry reminds Camilla of his mom so much that I think in my mind, she has a subconscious need to try to crush that boy. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, right? They said running behind William's back, big issue. Who are you? Besides the bald, lazy person, always on vacation. And when you're not on vacation, you're preening rose bushes. Anyway, the Royal Insider said, I just don't think that time has come yet. I'm not saying that it never will, but I think we're a long way off. First of all, what is their plan? That what? Charles ignore Harry till he's on his deathbed. Then the palace courtiers find a way to blame Harry for Charles being on his deathbed. I know, a 90-year-old man, shocker, he's dying, but I'm sure he'll find a way to blame him. And what? William takes over, lures Harry back to the UK, forces him to give up all his fame, fortune, new friends, and then in the UK punishes him and kicks him out shoeless. Please. They talk about Jeremy Clarkson. I think William has a Game of Thrones shame fantasy when it comes to Harry. Anyway, they said that the royal expert Duncan Lacrombie, he's claimed that whenever the royals finally agree to a sit down, the Duchess of Sussex won't be a part of the conversation. The former American actress. Okay, let me tell y'all something. So basically, we're in a holding pattern. They will only accept Harry back if he abandons Meghan and the children. Don't get it twisted, and the children. And they will do everything in their power to make Meghan look crazy like Diana, like how they tried to make her look. They will do everything in their power to make it seem like, oh my God, like we just want to love Meghan so, like we want those kids there, but they're crazy mom, they're crazy mom. And it'll probably be Diana 2.0. I know it, or at least I think I know it. Harry seems like he feels like it. Everybody knows it. These idiots. Anyway, he said if they do have a summit, that will only happen on the basis that it's in the strictest confidence, and the details of that conversation would never go anywhere else. And if that summit happened, they're lucky Harry's their child, because that would be a special level of petty. I would literally be like, absolutely, not a word will come out, Pa. Brother William, I promise, not a word. And then I would promptly write a scripted show centering around the meeting about, like, literally a dogma sour-faced man surrounded by a wife that looks like a horsey, and a woman and his brother who's just bald, and I would put baby oil on the head in each scene, just like Crisco, just rub it on there so it's shining, right? And then I would like have the wife have no fashion sense, be painfully thin, pull her face back with Botox, with tape, right? And just so she looked even more clownish, and literally have her dressing a hot mess, waving around her hands, and that would be the season 1 of my first Netflix show. That's what I would do. They're lucky. They're lucky. Anyway, they said, I just don't think that they would trust Meghan. You can't have a full and frank conversation with Harry and run the risk of being broadcast in America soon after. That's a trust thing. The royals do not trust Meghan, and I think they've already got quite a good reason not to trust her. Let me tell you something. Meghan don't give a damn what? Meghan doesn't care. Meghan doesn't care, and that's what bothers them. At the fact they want everybody to mean girl Meghan like she's back in the shower or whatever they live, right? And at the end of the day, Meghan doesn't care, and there's nobody else bringing her to heel. Seriously. Again, I know Rupert Murdoch has it in because this and that, blah, blah, but listen. Also, let me just run through this one article about William's World Cup fiasco was about his obsession with Harry. This is actually really interesting. Let me just do a read through, and then I'll give my commentary, but I think this is a good read. They said, the question I was not expecting was, where was Prince William at the World Cup final? Still less to hear it endlessly examined by news anchors, big mouths, football pundits, and politicians. I think this excerpt is from, I got it out of Celebrity, but it's from The Guardian. Okay, right? They said, who was the angriest between Joe Softball, who tweeted, happy to accept might be impossible for the prime minister given other commitments, but Prince William, why? And even Piers Morgan, the royal lapdog, being like, with respect, your royal highness, you should have got on a plane. They said, this is what happens when you get into a popularity contest with your brother. Now listen to this drag. Having made the decision to neither complain nor explain as per his family's motto, there has been little William could do in the face of Harry's California openness, except exist as a counterpoint. The not open brother, who hasn't been to therapy, who probably doesn't mediate, who doesn't have problematic feelings, still less tell anyone about them, and hope the public opinion would swing his way. And it has broadly. He is now the most popular member of the royal family after the departed queen. I still don't believe that, because when they said that, they asked, in America at least, who do you like more? Hitler, Saddam Hussein, Trump, Obama. I don't mean Obama is in line with any of those people, but you get what I'm saying. And then like also Prince William, and they're like, I guess Obama. And some people are like Prince William because they weren't political anyway, right? At least, and the thing is, they're not political in America because we think they're jokes. Okay, so anyway, they said Kate of Wales or whatever, meanwhile, is 4th most popular. Kate is always a loser. Anyway, after Princess Anne, while Meghan and Harry languished 11th and 12th. No one cared. Let me tell y'all something. Where's Britain's GDP? Where's their energy crisis? And I don't mean to drag the average Brit. No, no, no. I'm talking about the Tories that are bleeding the country dry. They need to be worried about themselves. Anyway, they said William's victory as preferred sibling has been pretty resounding. But he's been in the game long enough to know the triumph in it is just the opening of a new nightmare, one in which the populace can rescind their approval at any time on a whim, and they test his power with fresh objections all the time, just to prove they still have it. There are so many reasons that William might be selected as the face of oppressive patriarchy, but football isn't really one of them. Now that he's on the back foot, he will be honestly aware that the next thing he doesn't attend to has the potential to drag him down further. And third, will turn into a pattern of behavior. The prince who doesn't turn up to things. That is his name, actually. That's going to be his new nickname. The prince who doesn't turn up to things. TPWDTUT. Okay, that doesn't have a ring to it, but whatever. With what an easy slide that is to the prince who doesn't share the nation's joy or pain. Well, let's not lie. They did say, honestly, that William was his grandmother's. He was his grandmother's son, right? And he had so much in common with the queen. But even though as Betty got old and frail and people forgot she literally was the devil incarnate for the things she's done. And no, I'm not getting into history. Google it. It is outlined. You believe in that cute little everybody's grandmother fantasy you want. I wasn't educated in the UK. I know what's up, right? But getting back to that, especially with Diana's death, remember that cold-blooded mess she did? Yeah. Queen Elizabeth took 15 years to rebuild, and now William is doing the same thing. He doesn't share the nation's joy or pain. He'll be showing his face to judge cheesecake competitions while wondering neurotically whether Harry has got the jump on him by going to Crufts. This is an absolutely poisoned chalice, I believe. Drink deep, William. And the answer has been obvious for decades. All of you, put yourselves out of your misery and abdicate. Since none of them will do that, the second best idea is to be more Anne, a very private princess. I have no idea what she does and doesn't attend, only that it's always headscarf weather. Y'all listen, I hope this whole royal family drinks from that poison chalice till they can't drink anymore. Matter of fact, put some apple wine in there. Camilla will be the first to take a sip. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.